Hi everyone. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to use AI to study historical data. And when it comes to studying historical data, how can you use ChatGPT to extract the data and to make some sense of the data, right? So in this video, you're going to see how what are, like I just try to understand what are the months that are the weakest and what are the months that are the strongest in 1 year for the stock in the stock market. So let's dive right in. So I've opened my chat GPT here, okay, and one of the things that you have to do is um, uh, put in, ask the code that you require to download all the Nifty data. Otherwise, it's extremely difficult. You can go to NSE website and download it from there. But I've preferred to use ChatGPT to help me get a code. And the next part, I will show you where to use the code as well. So the first step is you want this particular data. So right. So let's basically ask it 10 years of data because that's what I want. So I'm telling it I want to download uh, Nifty 50 uh, data with its closing price for the past 10 days from Yahoo Finance. Okay, so Yahoo Finance has this data. That is the reason why I'm asking it. So one of the things I've realized using AI is that you have to be very clear as to what you want, very specific as to what you want. Otherwise, the AI will just throw you some random stuff. So like ChatGPT would throw you some random stuff. So here's what I've asked. I'm telling it saying I want to download Nifty 50 data, which is closing price for the past 10 days from Yahoo Finance. Also, I want to do it not from NSE website. I want to do it by using code. So generally for stuff like this, you have to use the Python code. So I'm going to say, give me a Python code. Give me a Python. Python is a coding language for those who don't know. So give me a Python code to do the same. And I hit enter and it's generating the code for it. So you can see over here it's giving me a code for it, and that's it. So it's telling me on the left, saying that you can fetch the Nifty data, all of those bits. It's given me a code here, and oh, sorry, I had asked for, I think I made a mistake by asking it 10 days. I need to say 10 years. So let me just copy paste that at the bottom and say 10 years from Yahoo Finance. So now it's going to just tweak that code a bit and give me um, the revised code. So yes, so I think we're done. Just copy that, and what you need to now do is you need to go to something called as Google Colab. Okay, so you can see over here that just go create a new notebook. Those are the codes that I have earlier spoken about as well. So those are other codes that I have, but what you can do is just go here and paste the code. Now you have this particular pasting of the code. So just once you're done with that, just click play, right? So it's going to start executing this particular code. And once it's done, you can see this particular folder document here, right? So it's going to basically show up in that folder document. So now it started to process, okay, and you can see that it has processed the data, and I can just click and say download, and it's just come, right? So you can see over here it's pulled out the data from 9 to 2015 till I think yesterday, right? So you can see over here the last date is 7/2/25. So it's pulled out the data for all of that, and if you and what I need now to do is that I want to basically just mention here that this is date and this is, let's say, closing price. or I can just say price. I'm just going to click on delete. Okay, and I'm going to save it. Okay, so now I have saved it. This was another analysis I was doing. So let me just open back. So now we're done. We have pulled out the data. Now I want ChatGPT to analyze the data. So I'm going to come back to my screen, close it, and I'm going to basically tell it who it is first, because apparently I need to tell the AI machine to think like somebody. So I'm not that person, so I want it to think like someone. So I say act as a quant developer. Okay, first thing, act as a quant developer. Okay, second is I have uploaded. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this and say upload. So this was the one that we just created. This was something that I'd done earlier. Uh, and if you see over here, I have uploaded it. So now I'm saying I have uploaded data of Nifty 50 closing close price for the past 10 years, right? So I'm just going to say closing price for the past 10 years. Now it understands my language, so I'm just going to say that. Now, mm, now I've already mentioned to it what I have actually done. So now I want it to do something for me, right? So I want to analyze which are the best months, or which are the top performing months and the weakest months in percentage change. This is because I want to understand when has the Nifty actually dropped down the lowest and when has the Nifty gone up the highest, right? So that way we can basically get a trend to understand, right? Now I want it to show me in a bar chart. Now these are things that you need to know, saying that how you want it, right? A lot of times what happens is you just imagine or you think that ChatGPT is actually going to throw you uh, the things and gives you idea here. But here, what you specifically want, whatever you want specifically, that's what you need to put. So I want to see this using a bar chart. Okay, and I am going to saying that I want to see it using a bar chart um, with by with the x-axis containing the 12 months. Okay, which means that lower axis is going to contain the 12 months, and it's going to show me an aggregate value of the percentage change. So I'm just going to see if it basically gives me the result. Just hit enter. So what it's done is it's uploaded the data, it's analyzing the data right now, it's trying to understand, and let's see if it basically shows up, because it did it once earlier in the trial that I tested to record this video. So let's see how it shows up currently. So it's taking some time to analyze. Now what I've learned is that if you're looking at this, yeah, so I think the data is here. Now if you see this, we are currently on the 8th of February, and this is basically the performance chart of Nifty over the past over the past 10 years. Now if you see that there is always, generally notice, there is a fall in January, in February there is a slight rise, and then in March it is the worst. So even if you were to expect a rise, right, March is not the time to expect a rise. March is the time when the change is the highest, right? And April is the time where the growth starts spurting, where there is a comeback happening. So let's say the market has fallen drastically, and then you have a comeback happening. right? Now this is data aggregated over the past 10 years. And if you see over here, there is a growth here, there is a growth here, which means that there is so much of growth here. There is almost you can see over here there is monthly change. So you can see average monthly change, almost 2.5% change, right? And you can see over here there is a percentage changes. Now from here you can think of different strategies, right? Saying that okay, Nifty in the month of January, or let's say February, will not go below, it'll not be 0.5% up, 0.5% down. So you can probably do an option strategy where you can probably do a strangle. So for the whole month, because in the month of January it's not going to basically, so that is basically an average, right? So you can consider, you can have your different strategies working with it, but this particular information, what it does is it gives you an idea, saying that if you are going to invest something, then March is probably not the month to invest. Or maybe you're looking at investing something, maybe you start investing at the end of March, and then you start seeing whatever rise you have to see over the next few months. And then there is going to be another drop that happens in the month of September. October is a slight rise. November and December are almost rising months in general over the past 10 years. But the worst months are Jan, Feb, March. And I remember one of my mentors, um, uh, uh, always whatever he's done, he's whenever there are losses, whatever losses he's done, he's usually done it in Jan, Feb, March, because he's trying to trade long in these first 3 months. And at a one time he said it's best thing to do in between Jan, Feb, March is not trade at all, because sometimes the market is too choppy and things like that. So this is what I got from the analysis. When I had a look at it, this is what I thought, and I was like, wow. I mean, this way I can think um, in a way to what to how do you basically deal with Nifty, and you can understand how to trade it. You obviously get to know or get to see, saying that okay, in most months throughout the whole year, the market is actually not dropping or not going up more than 2.5%, right? So let's say you have a strangle of 2.5 and 2.5 at the bottom and 2.5 at the top, you know for sure that it's not going to go that high. So you can see which months, analyze that as well. So give it a shot, do try it out. The idea of doing this video was to show you how to use ChatGPT to do your own analysis. You can pull out the data from Yahoo Finance. It's not necessary you can pull out only the Nifty 50. You can ask it to give you a code to pull out Bank Nifty data or any stock price data as well from Yahoo Finance, and then try to do an analysis saying okay, which are the top months or whatever analysis you want. The whole point is you will be able to pull out the data and then do your own analysis. So you just have an assistant who can do that analysis for you, right? So that's what I wanted to cover in this video, and I hope you like it. So thank you for listening, and do subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you learned something new.